so I just got back from Mexico, and one of the interesting things is, so it'll be like 1 a.m. on a Sunday night. Whole families are out, at like walking around the streets, getting, buying street
like
food
Spain.
or whatever. Yeah, they've no.
You go to Spain,
you never
people
see
go
that.
out. Literally, whole families go out for dinner at midnight.
It's pretty crazy, right? And you go, I guess they want to go to school. First of all, so I'm not going to, it's not that kind of podcast where I need to do 40 hours of my trip, but I'll tell you with the first couple things.
Highlights, lowlights?
Yeah, there's a couple, mostly lowlights. I'm not going to bring the highlights, but the things that were weird.
Not that kind of podcast.
Well, first of all, you can't swim in fucking Tulum.
Currently.
Yeah. Or
Not all year round. It's just
buddy. Apparently it's been like this forever.
Oh, really?
Yes, Big Mexico's hiding this. So they essentially have
Big Mexico.
10,000 kilograms of fucking seaweed to the point where, and it gets worse, you have to swim out, 400 yards to
You
even
got to get through it. And
it's not just a layer of film.
Yeah.
It is top to bottom.
I don't think that's all year round, though, because I know Miami had that same thing.
Yes, apparently it is. This is here listening to Big Mexico propaganda.
Well, no, because Miami, when I was in Miami during the pandemic, like there was none of that shit, and then all of a sudden, right around now in May, it sucked. There's a seaweed, and you couldn't go swimming.
Apparently, it's a new problem that the seaweed's all coming from wherever the other side of the
big seaweed,
and the seaweed is like an organism like anything else, and it knows it needs more sun to expand, and apparently where it's coming from, the sun's going down on them.
Oh, so it's coming from like England or something.
No, not England. It's they told me the country, but I can't remember. But anyways, it is to the point where you can't even go really in the beach because you got to go over mounds of seaweed. It's like
that's bad for Tulum.
It looks like someone just waited like 8 years to like mow their lawn. And then piled like all the lawns from the street on the bottom of the beach.
And so is the beach all just washed up seaweed too?
Yes.
Yeah, it's just covered seaweed. Yeah. That's
the
what
whole thing.
Like
so I wasn't able to swim in the ocean even one time. I tried to. I got about waist deep, and I was just like so covered in seaweed. It's ridiculous.
Honestly, I can speak for every person who is listening right now where I would have loved to see that.
Me not liking
you just
it?
in a Kramer-esque fashion struggling with the seaweed. Just the seaweed taking you down.
Also, every person on there is trying to scam you, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's
That's
Miami times 10,000.
That's par for the
Well,
course.
anyways, I was the mark for the thing. I bought this guy for $95. Oh, it's coming to the podcast fund, too, so you bought it as well.
Sorry, did you say $95 US?
That is correct. It's a little
You're
troll.
not being hyperbolic. You paid $95 for
That's
that.
correct, yes.
Why?
I don't know.
Like they just come up to you? Was it like a kid with like missing an arm or something? Like was it a sob story element to it? Or was it just some guy?
No, I'm a sucker, and I had fucking too many tequila shots, and I was fucking thinking, well, how's a
that
crystal
guy
for good luck? I couldn't afford not to buy it.
Crystal?
Yeah, I got scammed.
It's plastic.
I'm telling you.
That guy went home and he goes, you will not fucking believe this. You won't believe this.
Know what happens?
He goes, you know how I normally sell these things for $2? I sold one for $95.
I told him I wanted to buy it before he told me the price, and then I think I was already dulling out the money. Well, anyways, I got scammed.
We should fucking dip into the podcast
shirt.
fund and get you to read The Art of the Deal again because.
I got scammed by everything. They stole my headphones off the table. I went to the bathroom and they stole my headphones. I left on my table.
Yeah.
I bought a Moscow Mule for, you go to these Tulum clubs, right? Every thing is, a 95-year-old guy with like a, 19-year-old, like looks like an escort Instagram hoe type, right? And it's all like, like you're sitting at a table, you just want to get a drink. There's some lady essentially like dancing on your table.
Yeah, it's all that shit.
You have to go to if you want to order a drink, you got to yell at the top of your lungs, and it's like 12 p.m. right?
Yeah.
So you're doing this, and then I buy a $85 drink, Moscow Mule, and they gave me a cup of water essentially, no alcohol, and I'm just like, this has nothing in it, right? And then I go back to the person, I was like, hey, this drink has nothing in it, and the guy goes, oh, you ordered it 5 minutes ago, it's too long, and I go, no, this is happening, so. Then he goes, fine, I get manager. As soon as you need something, they act like they can't speak English.
This is the cup of coffee part 2.
Cup of coffee part 2. Yeah.
This is 2 weeks in a row that you've had customer service gripes.
So they get the manager. The manager's humming and
You're turning
hawing.
into a bit of a Karen, right?
I'm spending $450 at this fucking place. No, I have to.
Ryan's got a bit of a fucking bob. He's got that bob.
I love the idea
that
you're buying a $25 drink and they give you a cup of water and you're not asking. I've seen Danny, he'll be like,
Don't turn this around on me.
No. You'll send food back when you don't think it's
when
like
it's cold.
prepared the right way. You didn't like the
it's cold.
presentation.
Nah.
You go, no, there's supposed to be a leaf on this stick.
Where's my gold leaf?
You didn't like the presentation on the plate, so you send it back.
We'll send food back if it's cold.
Well, I've sent this back because it was a drink with it was.
Yeah, for sure.
They gave me a cup of water.
I mean, yeah, it's just getting scammed. It's just part of the experience. You're
Everyone's trying to sell you drugs. Like you.
Yeah, it's Mexico.
Yeah, and then there was this guy that he keeps coming up to the bar, and he has a stick that he lights on fire and spins it, right?
Like devil sticks?
Yeah, like one big devil stick.
Because it's like a lot of like hip, like the star seeds.
Like a Donatello
They're all
bow.
down there, right? The star seeds.
Star seeds.
Big scene right there.
He was like a star seed type of Mexican, right? So he's doing this move. He comes walks through essentially the restaurant. Like, he comes as far as I am from you right now and spins this rod around that is lit on fire, drops it like 3 times. Like, he's lighting his hand. You see him hit his hand and burn his hand, and he's kind of wiping his hands. His hands are all black from screwing this up.
Yeah.
So he's like essentially practicing, and you go, buddy.
Yeah.
Could you not? Could you not?
Not near me. Yeah. That
So
I would not like.
he literally.
So what happened with the drink?
He drops it once. The drink, I eventually got it, but it was a half-hour debacle.
And how much was the drink actually?
Go back. My headphones are stolen. They got
The new
money back.
headphones I bought, stolen again. You go outside. The guy's like, "Hey, you want to buy some headphones?"
The people there were weird. People at the hotel would they're very hard to communicate with them. Like for example, you'd be like, hey, can I get water to the room or something, right? The person then 2 people would come to deliver your one water, right? And then I would say walk in at the same time with them. And then I'd be like, okay, just put it on the floor. And they would just stand there and you go, well, my hands are full. If you just put it down, and they go, see? Like they're just standing there, like they're very confused, right? So
They're not confused. They want money.
Well, I could have gave the money, but you just had to put it down. I have to sign for the thing anyway.
Oh, it's all
I'm just
done.
like, put it down for a second. So a lot of weird stuff like that. One thing was the one night everything was like crazy dark, right? So I'm going into this, place. It's essentially burning hot. I'm like, I've never been so hot. I'm sweating so much that every 15 seconds I go outside and hang outside, right? And then they go,
This is in your room.
no, this is a restaurant.
A restaurant,
So
okay.
restaurants are pitch black, basically at Noir from downtown
Yeah,
Toronto,
yeah,
where
yeah.
the waiters have to be blind to bring you your food,
I
right?
hate that place.
Nowhere has a menu, by the way, so you have to look at your phone, but there's no reception. So this whole idea where menus are gone is ridiculous. So anyways, you basically, the people come up, and I'm just like, and I'm kind of complaining about this the whole time. I'm like, this is crazy how dark this is, right? And she keeps going like, it's actually like pretty decent. It's like the mood thing. Like, oh no, what are you complaining about or whatever, right? And then I'm like, I'm complaining because it's like, I'm literally, you take your
you're like,
food,
it's
you put it
so-
to your forehead, it's so dark, right? And then near the end of the meal, right when we're picking, you hear, and the lights all go on in the whole block. So the power was out at this fancy place.
Yeah.
So I was right.
You were right.
So that was
the one
my win. That was my win.
One win.
That was my win for the week.
Followed by just
My win for the week is
epic
that I was
amount
right.
of losses.
One thing also, everyone lives in huts, right?
Yeah.
No, not everyone. Like there's rich people.
So is
and poor
it's
people.
not cheap there to like go vacation there?
Well, no, I don't think it's cheap. It's still
Like
pretty
Mexico
expensive.
City, I went to Mexico City, and Mexico City was like super cheap to go to, and it's like a very modern, not super modern, but pretty modern.
Well, all inclusives are cheaper and better. Yeah,
But I'm saying
too much
Tulum is, I
decision-making.
guess, it's just because it's this tourist trap, whereas Mexico City is like a 10 million person city. They can't really.
Well, you hit the nail on the head when we were talking because you said that. Well, it's when you go to these things, it's more like going to a city, and it's true. It's like my life so much is like just nonstop. I already have I have to do so much administration just to fucking deal with my normal life. Like whether it's phone calls and stuff, it's like I spend a lot of time just trying to like minimize that, right?
Yeah.
So when I'm taking 4 days off, what I don't want to do is like a ton of administration work of like, okay, we need to like organize a place to get to this place. We have to make a reservation. Where are we going here? Where we go? Like it's a lot of that kind of stuff. Like you become your own personal assistant, designing
You
your
need a cruise. You're a cruise man.
a cruise would be nice.
Except you probably get some sort of motion.
would love it. No, I would. No, I would not. I would love a cruise.
Fucking-
You're right. I am a
the
cruise
boat-
guy.
The boat would get motion sickness. I
think I'm a cruise
I think you're
guy.
a cruise guy.
Hey, you're a cruising guy.
I'm a cruising guy. That's how I got monkeypox.
Well, anyways, that's basically the only thing I was going to say was that it's interesting because they do live in these huts. And one thing that I was thinking about life was you drive by these villages and there's like, big condos right beside essentially like a family of 9 living in a hut, right?
Yeah.
And 2 things. The first thing, you're kind of like, it is crazy that they're so much poorer and all that stuff, right?
Then
Well, then a lot of people here.
Oh,
whatever.
here, yeah.
And then the first thing I was thinking was, it's kind of interesting to think that, but you're like, well, that hut in Manhattan would be $9,000, detached hut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd be like, that'd be expensive. But then I was also thinking that every positive thing comes with a negative thing, because there is, although it was like all this whole family living together, they all seem to really be having a good time. So it's like 11 p.m., the guy's there with his brother, the kids are sort of running around, people are playing soccer, they're horse playing, they're getting drunk.
More money, more problems.
Smoking cigarettes. They seemed like, as much as obviously, you're going to, like, the kids are have to sleep in probably a bed with their brother and all this annoying stuff.
Yeah.
And you're never probably don't have as much privacy. It did seem like fun. You're just with people that you like. Your brother lives next door.
Yeah.
Like community, I guess is the right word. But so, kind of living in a more industrialized society where you don't live your neighbors and all that, know your neighbors, all that stuff, it is more lonely.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's kind of a lot of countries I've been to is like how you describe, where, a lot of people live fucking jammed into small spaces.
Yeah, and it sucks, but you also gain
But they're also
something.
used to, but they're also, it's just what they know. So yes, it sucks, but they're not like, oh, I used to live in this, or everybody I know lives in these mansions and I live in this hut. They're like, we all live in this little village and everybody lives in this hut.
And then on the other side
of
of
that, that's just how it is.
They don't think like, oh, this is great, I get to hang out with all my family. They're just like, yeah, everyone has all their family all around. It's probably annoying.
Yeah.
But there is a benefit of like, you're like the uncles, you're just chilling with your boys like all
they're
day
just
long.
like, yeah, we got food and we got a TV and what else do you need?
They're just watching soccer with their buddies.
Yeah.
So it was a little like romantic to me.
I mean, there's definitely, it's the grass is always greener kind of thing. Lots of people go there and they go, I mean, how many people, especially with Mexico, for, America and Canada, just the people who are just like, I just need to drop out of society kind of thing, and they could go there.
They probably don't move into a hut though. They
might,
and they probably don't
economic.
They don't get any of these benefits though, because their family and friends aren't there. You get the worst of both worlds.
Well, you end up being the fucking fire spinner dude or whatever until But then you see that happens a lot. Like I remember I've traveled.
He's their sign guy.
I've traveled a lot. What happens is one of those people marries in, finds a chick, and then you marry into a family, and then you're just like kind of an honorary.
You're an honorary bro.
That's your
watching
life now.
soccer
That's
with
your life
Jose.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching that clip, supporting the channel. If you like The Boyscast, there's a new episode every week at patreon.com/TheBoyscast.
That's patreon.com/TheBoyscast.